Consolidation. Some people could argue and say that this is consolidation. Let's look up BUSD and BTC and BUSD because my BTC chart is so messy right now. BTC to BUSD. So this one is not as messy, but do we need this? I don't think we need this, but just right off the bat, I can see like I can probably draw like 2 or 3 lines right here. Like you can see this box right here. Like it's just Bitcoin is just bouncing up and down between this channel. And yeah, so could this be consolidation? Could be, or we may just be on a staging ground as Bitcoin is just getting ready to dump, which, yeah, we could be getting ready for another dump, but only time will tell. And there's no like magic crystal ball that will tell you like it's going to go up for sure or down for sure. What we have in the crypto space is just a matter of probabilities, right? We have probabilities of it going up and probabilities of it going down. And what you do with this information is to put together a game plan, right? For if it goes up, do you have a game plan? And if it goes down, what is your game plan, right? And there's a saying that if you don't have a plan, then your plan is to fail, right? So always be sure to have a plan and be ready for either direction. So let's start with we can start with our main presentation. Well, not presentation, but more like a slide for tonight. So yeah, so thanks for joining everybody. Yeah, so you can see we are. This is Crypto Happy Hour, and we are a gathering of, crypto enthusiasts from different groups, from South Asian Crypto, Crypto Canada, 1 Hour Investing, Vancouver Crypto Network, CoinFest, and also maybe even people from Christopher's YouTube channel, Altcoin Asian. So it's good to see a lot of people here. Just a quick news schedule. For tonight, news roundup, which I prepare some news articles I'll be going over. Then we go over like how to get into the Matic network, and then we talk more about Matic. This is where Chris and Daphne and I said we will talk about Matic, and then we have after hours hangout and such. So before we jump deeper into this, I do want to make it clear that I'm not a professional finance advisor, nor are anybody here in this room. We're just crypto enthusiasts. We're just passionate about crypto and personal finances. And none of what is shared tonight should be taken as financial or solicitation for any security, right? And we prefer to keep things casual here. And we should assume that any crypto or stock that's being mentioned, we either own them or we have dumped them in the past. So you should not assume that we do or we have any. And of course, crypto is volatile, so do invest at your own risk and consult a professional advisor or your broker if you need professional advice. And hopefully your broker won't make you any broker. So yeah, so just some news, right, for this week. So first big news out there is China is kicking miners out. And a lot of Bitcoin miners, they're being cracked down on. They are forced to close up. And a lot of mining could be moving over to Texas. And I've been listening to a lot of commentators out there, and a lot of them are saying that this is actually great news for the whole Bitcoin space, because there's a lot of criticism against Bitcoin about how it's so centralized in China, about how 30 to 50% of mining last year alone came from China. And this is actually I would say this is pretty good news for anyone who is in it for the decentralization technology. If you believe in decentralization, if you believe that mining should not be held within 1 or 2 countries, this is the news that we're looking for. There is also the criticism of how people say that Bitcoin is mined with dirty coal electricity, and we know that China is known for using up a lot of coal, dirty, polluting energy sources. And now with this crackdown, there are less arguments against Bitcoin about how it is using like dirty coal to power, and it's moving towards. I guess Texas is more known for oil, so it's from coal to oil. It is like it's a step up, but it's still dirty. But we also know who else is in Texas. You either love him or you hate him. Elon Musk, right? He Gigafactory is in Texas. You know what else he also runs? Solar City. He owns companies that make solar panels. So you could expect like solar panels popping up in Texas. And if that is the case, we may see a shift of mining, right, moving towards green, sustainable energy. And you know that he is like big about like Bitcoin being like mined sustainably. So we could see that. And some people may even say that everything that Elon Musk has been doing may have been a huge conspiracy for him to push like solar mining. So we don't know for sure right now, but maybe over time we'll start seeing what's going to happen. But yeah, this is pretty big news for mining in general. And then another news just today, right? We have a Fed talking about like rate hikes and inflation, and this actually caused a small dip in the price of Bitcoin and the whole traditional market in general. And this only gives us a huge reminder that right now in the U.S. and also with a lot of our world governments, like they're printing out money faster than they ever have. Like in the U.S., like they're printing out so much money in the last year or two. It's so much that they stopped keeping track of it. Like if you look at M1 Money Index, they stopped keeping track, and it's because they're just so embarrassed with the amount of money printing, right? That they're no longer keeping track of it. And of course, they make some excuses like, "Oh, it's outdated," but you have a lot of people who are saying that they're so embarrassed with how much they started printing back in March last year that they just want to hide it. And then also you look north of the border in Canada, we are not too different as well too. In fact, someone shared a video with me about how at a parliamentary hearing, the Treasury, I think it was like either Treasury or Deputy Treasury or someone like at higher ranks, Christia Freeland, doing Q&A back in November of last year. She was asked a simple question like, how much printing has been done in Canada? And for like 15 whole minutes, she's been dodging that question. She's been like giving like a canned response, like, "Oh, Canada has been very responsible with printing." And then the guy was like, the questioning minister, MP was like, "So how much has been printed? How much is put into long-term debt and short-term debt?" And she kept giving the same answer. "Yeah, we're responsible." So both in Canada and the US, is like printing is so out of hand that the government is just so like they're so like embarrassed to admit, so they're just hiding it. And this gives us more reasons why like Bitcoin and crypto has a lot of value, has a lot of use cases, because it's a hedge against inflation. It's a hedge against any like government run currencies. And then next up, we also have this news, right, about how like Elon Musk said, he says that Tesla will eventually start accepting Bitcoin once Bitcoin is mining in a cleaner manner. So that gave Bitcoin a big run up from, I guess, 38 to 41K over the weekend, only to drop with the Fed announcement. And then next up, we also have rumors. Yes, Gloria also mentioned GM is looking into Bitcoin payments of vehicles. So that's another big thing too. But at the same time, we've gotten into the stage where like after you have the first mover, people are starting to suspect that is this more of a marketing gig, right? Is this more of a gimmick for them to get more attention or not? So I mean, if they are accepting Bitcoin, and they truly are, it's great. There's more use cases. But even if they do it for like from a marketing angle, just to get some press, they are. You could say they are like the dinosaur in the automobile space. They need to find ways to stay relevant, and if this is what it means for them to stay relevant, then great on them. At least they try, right? Compared to a lot of other car manufacturers who they're having a hard time to keep up, right? Because eventually, this is just my opinion, and also maybe opinion of a few other people, but they are saying that like the automotive industry, it is going the way of the Kodak camera, right? How Kodak went obsolete because they failed to transition to digital cameras fast enough. So there are like lots of arguments saying that this is GM making the final stand. Maybe they will survive. Maybe they can actually continue for in like many years, or it's like a poor last attempt. But yeah, but eventually, it's great news because once you have more car dealerships, car manufacturers set in Bitcoin, you're gonna have other companies coming in too. So this maybe like eventually you'll see like Ford jumping in, right? You see like other car companies, Honda and everybody else coming in. Just usually when companies jump into things, that usually come in flocks, not just one at a time, right? And it took the first stone to, I guess, took the first company to do it, which at one point was Tesla, right? But the same can be said about countries as well too, like countries getting onto Bitcoin as well too. How El Salvador was the first to make Bitcoin a legal tender, and now you have a lot of other countries like getting ready to jump on board. Like what's his name? Crypto RS. He made the analogy about how El Salvador is like the micro strategy of countries, and with El Salvador in, we have rumors about how like countries like Mexico, Uruguay, even Brazil, like planning on, like they're looking into it, and eventually we have more countries. So I'll say that yeah, we're going to start seeing massive like capital inflow, like sovereign funds and everything coming into crypto. So yeah, so keep an eye on this. And then we also have another one right here. I'm almost done with the news, but yeah, Def Cross. Another big thing a lot of people are talking about too, right? Def Cross, right? Is how is it going to affect Bitcoin? If you don't know about Def Crosses, it's basically like you have two like EMAs like about to converge on each other. Okay, this is a bit messy as well too, but you have like one of the Def Crosses you have that could happen is at the 200 EMA, which is this purple line right here, about to crash, about to converge onto. I'm going to change the color to this instead of purple. Let's make this yellow. So you have like two like moving averages, and historically, whenever these two cross, like do a crossing, it has been bearish. It can be argued as a bearish sign. Like it's not guaranteed that it's going to be a bearish thing, but there has been some instances where like, after the cross, it went bearish. I'm not sure. Can we see it? How far can we go with this? Has there been a documented case?
Yeah, there was one earlier this year, right there.
Yeah. Well, this one is more of a golden cross where like this is the 50 EMA crossing above the 200, and then it became like a positive thing.
I thought I saw another one on here somewhere, but I just can't remember exactly where it was.
Yeah, it could be just BTC, USDT. Let's look at my messy chart with BTC with USDT. That one may have it. That one, no, actually may not have it because Binance wasn't around for that long. But so yeah, so this is another golden cross right here. Golden cross, massive run up, and then we have like a Def Cross, but this was also caused by the pandemic, so it was more of a black swan event. But it did stay low for a while. But a lot of people are talking about this crossing right here. It's hard to say whether it may have any effect because like we did see right here, right? It did, a crossing did happen, but it didn't really go anywhere. In fact, it started going up until the pandemic happened. So just because there's a crossing doesn't guarantee that could crash down, but you should always be prepared in case if it does crash. Are you in a position where you can survive, right? Do you have to liquidate? Do you have to sell everything if it drops low? And hopefully you don't have to, because the the next slide I have, right, shows quite a lot about what is happening in the crypto space. This is from the website Glassnode. It's a great website if you are into data and analytics, and I get most of my data information from this website. But you can see that this chart shows all the wallet holders in the crypto space, and like the last three, the last three, the bottom three like lines right here, the area underneath, right, are like the short-term hodlers. Everything from, I'm gonna get let's see if I can get a coloring pencil and something to draw this. But yeah, anyone from like here on, are like people who have been holding on to more than 1 month, right? And this is like 1 year, and from here on, this white area are like super long-term hodlers. So anyone who's been holding onto like crypto for over a year. So you can see that in the final quarter of last year, 2020, a lot of people started getting into crypto, but at the same time, a lot of these short-term people have been dumping the crypto after Bitcoin has gone up a lot, right? And you can see the slope, right? The slope is not too high, and then it only had gotten deeper, like steeper down, right? In the last month or so, after the big crash from 60K. But you look at the long-term players, right? They're actually increasing their shares, and it's one sign that shows that long-term players, the whales, those who are in it for long-term, they are like buying the Bitcoin. Like, while everyone who just got in at like 30K, 40K, 50K, they are selling, it's the whales who are buying it up. And I don't think I have the news article for this one, but I'm also noticing that there's another whale alert that shows that another like big fund, or at least a big wallet, right? They pull a lot of Bitcoin out of an exchange. So it shows that a lot of whales are actually sending stable coins, sending fiat over, right, to like Coinbase and all these other exchanges. They're buying up the Bitcoin and they're pulling it out and putting it into long-term storage, because these whales know that this is not the end. Like, we're what we have right here, this peak right here, is just the 60K is, in their opinion, is just a temporary rest stop. So this is what the whales are thinking, but a lot of short-term guys, they are thinking, oh yeah, Bitcoin is dead. That's why they started selling. And I guess my encouragement to all you guys is that don't give up. Like, don't, just because Bitcoin is like falling, it's not moving up as fast. I don't think that this is the end, right? You don't want to sell like to the whales, because crypto is something where like it's supposed to be the people's currency. It's supposed to be currency for the people. And the more we sell to the whales, the more we're giving away the decentralization aspect. The more it will become a self-fulfilled prophecy about how crypto could be manipulated by people. And you don't want to be like you don't want Bitcoin to end up like gold, right? Gold has been like manipulated, like gold and silver, right? They have been, both of them have been manipulated like crazy, and you don't want them to start manipulating Bitcoin as well too. So if you have crypto, yeah, this is not financial advice, but if you believe in crypto, you believe in decentralization, you believe in having power to the people, right? This is the token. This is the asset class you want to hold on to, because it will eventually get up as the network effect spreads. As more people use it, it's going to go. And I'll also have this funny slide right here about how this is just a list of all the excuses that people make, like, against Bitcoin, right? From 2010, it was like nobody uses it. Then you have only nerds use it. Then 2013, drug dealers use it. 2014, money launderers use it. Then you have 2017, gamblers, like people who bought like into ICOs and different random coins. 2019, only a small percentage of population uses it. I'm not going to use it. Then next up, you have like, only small companies use it, from like MicroStrategy, right? if you look at MicroStrategy, they came a long way. They were actually just a software intelligence company, a small nobody company, right? And now they are leading the pack. And then now you have only small countries on Bitcoin. So people will always have excuses, and this should not be this should not influence you on whether you should dump your coins, right? Because it will only keep growing, and eventually people will run out of excuses. And then yes, and then last up, I just want to the news section with a funny video. Someone just shared this video. I thought it was hilarious about.
All right, let's make some money. It looks like I'm buying XRP. You've got to be kidding me. Another signal. Maybe the first one was just bad luck. By the end of the day, no one can time the market. Let's give it another shot. Are you serious? Which useless trader is behind these signals? Shall I give it a try or not? I'm almost out of money. Damn it, I can't miss out on this one. YOLO.
There you go. So don't go on those signals groups. It's usually there are those who run the group. They benefit from the pump, and they don't put out these information for everyone's benefit. They're just in it for themselves, and you don't want to trust these groups. But that's just the meme of the day. And yeah, so I think that's just the beginning of this. So now we can move on to the main, I guess, the component for tonight. A lot of us are here because we want to learn more about Matic, right? Or their current name is called Polygon, and there's just, if you look at how far Polygon has come. I may be able to just put. No, I'm not able to put Polygon, but you look at Matic. You look at the price of Matic. Matic has come a very long way. How they were trading at about less than a penny, trading at 2 penny, and they shot up all the way to $2 at the peak, $2.70. So if you got in here, that's 100x right here that you just made, and you probably are wondering what is special about Matic? Why is everyone talking about Matic? Even with the dump that happened in May, Matic recover pretty quickly. It went back up to almost $2. So this is what we are about for tonight. We want to talk more about Matic. Well, what is so special about Matic? And what are some of the projects on Matic that everyone is excited about, right? And for starters, I'm just going to give a quick, I guess, I wouldn't say it's overview, but it's not really a real overview, but just a quick, few points about what Matic is, right? Matic is a second layer solution for the Ethereum network. So for those who have been hearing about how Ethereum is so expensive, right? So expensive to interact with smart contracts to get in on DeFi and yield farming. Matic exists as a second layer solution for the ETH network, and a lot of ETH projects, they're actually migrating over to Matic, and as a result, a lot of people are taking advantage of the lower fees, the lower gas fees. That instead of paying $20 per interaction with a smart contract, people are paying less than 10 cents per transaction on Matic, if not even lower. So there's a lot of excitement on the Matic network. There's a lot of decentralized finance projects on the Matic network, and if you want to get in on something that is new, you want to get in on DeFi, Matic is the place to consider. This is, of course, I'm saying it from a non-financial advice perspective, right? This is what you two look into, and this is why for tonight, I'm excited to have both Christopher and Daphne who will be joining me, and we will tag team and share about like some of the projects that on Matic that we are like looking into. So, Chris and Daphne, are you guys ready? You guys want to?
Yeah, go ahead,
so-
Daphne. I'll go after you if you want.
Yeah. But I guess for starters, I probably should.
Oh, you're on
quickly
mute, Daphne.
Yeah. Do you want to share about your experience on Matic?
Yeah, sorry. I thought I was going after Chris. So I was going to see what you have to say, Chris, and then I would just kind of,
Oh, sure. Yeah, no worries. Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
Where is it? Okay. Pull this on the other screen. All right. Oh, that one's over there. Okay. Yeah. So, in terms of Matic, yeah, I've been farming heavily on mostly like DFYN network and QuickSwap. So QuickSwap is like the largest layer 2 DEX on Matic. So they have a crap ton of liquidity. They have 1.12 billion. They've got over $1 billion in volume in 24 hours, and they've got 646,000 transactions over the 24-hour period. So that it's actually outpacing Ethereum. But I think the number was like 5 to 6x roughly. So you can see that like a lot of users just like you and me want like low transaction fees, right? And high TPS. So I'm mostly farming again on DFYN and QuickSwap. So personally, I'm in one pool and then just one single-sided staking. So LP farming is like a really good way for you. For those of you who don't know what like LP farming is, it just stands for liquidity providing, right? So it just means, for example, like providing. Personally, I'm doing QuickSwap and Matic, right? So I provide equal amounts of tokens in both QuickSwap and Matic. And then you earn 0.03% on every swap that occurs in this pool. So for example, let's say Ed wants to swap some Matic for some QuickSwap, and I'm in this pool. So Ed will swap, and then I earn a percentage of Ed's swap as a liquidity provider. So you can see how lucrative it can be to be a liquidity provider. It's a way that you can essentially like farm more tokens. Having said that, it's not completely like risk free, right? So the risks are like impermanent loss. So for example, if you provide Matic at $1 and Quick at, for example, $500, and Matic doubles and like Quick like tanks, you're subject to what's called impermanent loss, right? So essentially as the assets diverge from each other in price, you lose paper money because of the volatility of the tokens. So that's one of the risks for like impermanent loss. And then something else that I believe it was Corey was saying was the iron token today. So oops, sorry, wrong chart. So yeah, there was a big rug on on QuickSwap. So it was, this is Ed. If you remember last week, you had asked, "Oh, look at that Titan token, right?" On QuickSwap that was like giving like 50,000 APY, and I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, that rugged today, and it rugged hard. So this is the iron is like the stable coin, and then Titan was like the other coin. So it literally went from like $65 all the way to 10 cents. So it literally dropped like 100%. So basically what happened was, like, not to get super nitty gritty, but basically the stable coin lost its peg. And then like Mark Cuban was actually in this pool. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but he was farming in this pool. Apparently he got out before everyone sold, but there was like a 200,000 transaction, and then everyone just dumped after that. So you can see how it's like there's always risk for like if you provide tokens of like a a sketchy project or a project that you haven't vetted very well. So this is why it's very important to like read the white papers, understand how it works. And so basically, yeah, that's why that happened. And I know one of the viewers had said that they have this token, and most people can't even pull out of their pools anymore, because it like just the network isn't working right now. So I'm sorry to hear that, but yeah, if you want to pull those funds out, it's kind of already like the damage has been done. Like literally, it fell all the way within like a day. So this happened all like literally earlier today. I was up here, and then now it's like here. So yeah, that's a bit rough, but yeah, in terms of like oh, I see some stuff in the chat here. Yeah, someone said hodl the right tokens. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's good. It's good to hodl like solid tokens such as like Matic, for example, right? And in terms of like how much I'm able to make, like for example, like on DFYN, because there's so many pools and so many different assets that you can provide with. Over the last month, I've made roughly $1,300 in DFYN tokens, and I don't have like a really big position. It's just that, like for example, the APY or the pools I'm in. For example, this is one pool I'm in, is DFYN ETH is 435.68%. And that's not like overly large. Like for example, the Titan one was like 50,000. If you ever see an APY, it's like 50,000 or something like that. Don't touch that pool. I guarantee it's gonna rug within like a couple of days. It's not sustainable with that sort of APY, because then everyone has tokens, and what do you do with those tokens? You just dump them onto the market, and then you make money, right? There's no point in being in that pool. So what I personally do is I don't put everything in one pool, because let's say like DFYN crashes or like ETH crashes, then you're in trouble, right? So what you can do is you can like you can take your tokens and distribute them across like different pools. So I'm in this pool. I am in the single-sided asset pool for DFYN as well at a 60%. That's fixed. And then I'm also in a dual farm for route and DFYN. So again, liquidity farming you can do liquidity farming at any point in the cycle, right? Because people will always need to be able to swap tokens, you know, from, for example, Booty to DFYN. Such an interesting token name. But yeah, that's the bit I had about what's called Matic. The only other one I'm really doing on Matic is just like Aave. So Aave is a really good place to be able to like farm, well, not farm, but like deposit tokens. So for example, if you have like extra USDC or Aave, ETH, BTC, any of the stable coins, you can deposit, and like there's close to zero risk for this, because Aave is like a blue chip protocol. It's like number 25. I'm not saying there's zero risk, but it's just there's less risk because this is a really big blue chip DeFi project.
All right. So for those who are interested in going to into Matic Layer 2, you definitely want to add a Matic network onto your MetaMask account. What you're going to do is you're going to go to custom RPC, and you're just going to hit add network, and you're going to fill this out. I'm gonna send you the link down below if you're interested to get into the Matic network. And there are a lot of different vaults. Chris showed you a couple. There's also Beefy, which I'm heavily on. There's Adamant. There's a bunch of them. And if you actually go to, there's a lot of pools of platforms that could also do a rug pool. So sometimes what I would do is I'll go to roundup.io, and this will actually show you. So basically, I think it's a developer or a few developers. They actually they look at the coding of these different farms, and then they'll give like a rating on whether these farms are safe or not. Not 100% was accurate. So for example, the Iron platform where you had the Titan tokens, they were considered legit. But obviously, they don't look at the tokenomics. They just see if the coding is correct, is valid, so that the developers don't do a rug pool at the end. So RugDog is something that I usually go check on. And for just a quick one for RPC. Like if you're, so Matic has been very good since I got into layer 2 about a month or two ago. Matic has been really, really good in terms of really quick transactions and really, really cheap. In the last couple of months, a lot of the transactions have slowed down because I think there's a lot of congestion. So sometimes when you change your RPC, it can speed up transactions along with increasing your gas fees. And how you change your RPC, that would be this link, which I will also link down below later. And if you scroll down, you get to see all these different RPCs that are laid out. So if you add Matic Network into your MetaMask, the default would be rpc-mainnet.maticvisual.com. Now, if Matic Visual is slow, sometimes you can just swap out your RPC over. So under settings, you want to go to networks, and under Matic Network, you want to swap out your RPC for something else. So I have a different one. This is a private RPC, but the public ones, they should more oftentimes than not be good enough so that, say, if your transaction is slow, they will actually help speed up the transaction as well. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'm definitely here for the happy hour. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what I have for now.
So you're degen farming then? Some people would say it's degen farming.
Oh, is that what it's called? I just
if you're hopping into a lot of these farms that are like new and their tokenomics kind of look a little I would say like they have deposit fees. Generally, what happens is like a lot of people will initially get into these farms, but then as people like tend to get tokens, they just dump them all in the market. So the price will do this kind of like really steady hours and it just dumps really hard. So you have to make sure if you're doing that sort of like, if you're not doing like a long-term LP farm, like with very big assets or more solid assets, you need to be selling those like if you're degen farming like that, or else you're just going to be holding something and it's going to drop to zero and then you're going to have nothing.
Yeah, I typically don't go to those farms where they give out their own tokens because that's just because like you said, tokenomics is new.
Exactly.
As compounding, they have the compounding effect. So that's why a lot of my holdings are on Beefy. But yeah, like Adamant, I did a little bit on Adamant, but they give out Adamant tokens.
Sure.
They're pretty solid, even though RugDoc, didn't give a credit for Adamant. But as of now, I don't have anything on Adamant, but a lot of people have sworn by it. But yeah, like anything, Polycat, Polyweed, that's like a whole bunch of them. If you're interested in those kinds of like higher percentages, as Chris and Eddie said, just be super careful. And every time you make the money, definitely convert it back to stable coins so that you don't, in any case of a rug pull or any case of a bank run, you don't lose a lot of money. So I was on a tiny Matic pool when it was going up. Thankfully, I was able to, convert that into stable coins. So thankfully, I didn't lose anything. Didn't make as much profit as I was hoping to. But at the end of the day, you definitely want to take as much out as possible so you don't lose at least your capital. So yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the rule of thumbs I always tell people, right, and I also practice myself, is that whenever you enter a farm, you always want to find out like how soon can you get your initial capital out, because the sooner you can get your capital out, the safer it is. Because any of these platforms, any of these like new farming tokens, right, they could go down to zero like overnight, and just because they give like they have like 100% or like some places even like 1,000% APY. Some even I've seen one with like about like 100,000% APY a year, right? Like any of these platforms could disappear anytime, and if they don't disappear, like that means there's a lot of these tokens coming out. It's being churned out like every second. If a new block is every second, there's like a lot of these tokens coming out, and whoever's mining these, they're gonna be dumping them, right? So I mean, a lot of these are unfortunately they are the pump and dumps, and like you don't want to, like, if you don't have the time to like micromanage, you get it, like get the reward, sell the reward quickly. Like you probably are safer playing with I would say stablecoin pools. So this is where I'm just going to quickly share this this platform, Curve. So Curve Finance, they are another. I would say they're quite trusted within the decentralized finance space. So their mission is, what they do is they help people convert from one stable coin to another stable coin. So you have like a DAI token to USDC, right? Or you convert from like USDT to USDC. So look at like these are all like mostly like like the first section up here, first row. These are mostly stable tokens, and I know a lot of people they do love using using Curve because the conversion rate is a lot cheaper than let's say going to let's say Binance or going through like a decentralized swap. So that's why a lot of people love this. They love using Curve. But I'm just going to pull up from network type. But even despite the network type, you can see here you can switch between like mostly stable coins. And the nice thing about stable coin is stable coins, they don't move much, right? It's always like they usually peg to $1, and most of them move like maybe 1 or 2 penny, unless something's very wrong with that stable coin, then they'll shift a lot. And the nice thing about providing liquidity, this is based on my findings, of course, you can also be a liquidity provider where you provide USDT and USDC, right? And anyone who wants to make that conversion, maybe they see a farm that accepts USDC only, right? And they don't have USDT. They'll take the USDT and trade it for USDC. And process, they pay like a small fee. But if you have a whale who's trading like 1 million or 2 million or 10 millions of like one stable coin to another, a 0.1% fee, right, is a lot when you're working with like millions of dollars. And by being the liquidity provider, right, over time you could increase your position. And this is why a lot of people love this. And this is and these are some of the rates they have here, like where like you're providing like DAI, right, which is one stable token, USDC and USDT, right? You're getting like 5% just by putting in stable tokens, right? So it's pretty cool. And then you also get, of course, Matic tokens too. So this is, I would say, this is one of the more like conservative, more safer plays out there. Of course, when I say safe, there's no such thing as like complete airtight safe, because any platform could disappear, right? But this is something to consider. But and then for those who have a bigger appetite for risks and such, right? What Daphne share, like Rug Doctor or like or even projects like Polycat, right? They have like 400%, like 500% APR, right? These are also risky because these tokens will always be like on a constant decline. Like they will start with like they start at like $100, $200, $300, and over time they start dropping because there's no use for any of these tokens except for like what can you do with I think their token is called fish token. What can you do with fish token? Not really a lot. You can stake the fish token to get more fish tokens, which increases the supply, right? And eventually you have a situation where there's just a lot of fish tokens. It's like an inflation situation, right? Where the value of the fish token like goes down in value. There's no use and people start dumping it. So yeah, just a couple more, some applications out there. And then I can even go further and talk about like some of the blockchain gaming application on the Matic network too. I believe there are 2 games out there that's on the Matic network right now. One of them is called Crypto Mega Cryptopolis 3D. Right, it's like a picture like SimCity, except it's on crypto, right? You can buy like real estate, you can buy like houses, you can buy like factories, you can like create like you can make resources, right? And then other people jumping in, they want to play, they say, oh, I want to buy a house, I want to build like a tower, whatever, right? And then they'll have to buy the wood from another player. And then in order to create wood, you need to have workers. And where they get workers? Oh, from another player. So they try to build like an ecosystem, and everything's all on like the Matic network. So it's pretty cool with what they are doing. And you can see that people are selling land like in there. But over time, I mean, like, at the end of the day, it is just one massive experiment, right? People are like buying and selling stuff, and there's no knowing like whether there's any long-term value in games like these. But those who got in early, they are making a lot right now, and just because they made money doesn't mean that there's guarantee for us coming in later. But this is just an observation I've noticed. Let's see if anybody. Yeah, so maybe we can open up to everybody. See anybody else here in this room. I'm currently doing liquidity mining, and like if you have any questions, feel free to ask us. Just reading off what Chris has said.
Just something I saw on. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yep. You can say what you want to say, Chris.
Oh, so I thought someone was going to speak. I saw you were showing Curve. So there was an article earlier today from Polygon because Curve for their V2 is matching the liquidity mining. So they're actually they committed like 6 million for the summer. I think it was for 6 months or something like that. I think it was 1 million more than the initial I believe it was 5 million with Curve and Polygon for the liquidity mining event. So that's cool to check out if you're looking for some like extra APY. And Curve has been around for like ages. You can see how old that interface is. They need a refresh so bad. It's from like the 90s, bro.
Like those DOS applications.
Yeah. But I know that Aave is also doing a similar thing. I think it's like the phase 1 is ending like sometime like end of this month, and they're doing the second phase for their liquidity mining program as well.
Yeah, the only downside about both Curve and Aave right now is you don't really get any of their governance tokens.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so if you see like on Ed's screen, it says Aave and it says like nil. That's like the base APY. So for example, if you put in like DAI at 2.8%, you earn 2.8% in DAI, but you also earn on top of that 3.39% APY in Matic. So you get two rewards for only depositing one token, right? But for Aave, you can see there's a nil, so you only get 18, but you still get 18.29% on Matic. That's pretty good, right? Yeah. I see a question from Jim here. I'm investigating liquidity pool with Rune at the moment, not in any LP at the moment. Well, you're talking to the right guy because I'm an LP on Thorchain. So, Jim, I am definitely the guy to talk to. I am personally in the Rune and BTC pool, and I'm also in the ETH and Rune pool. So I've earned in the BTC pool in about 45 days, I've earned $80 USD. And there's impermanent loss hedging. So there's no impermanent loss there, basically. And then the same thing for ETH roughly. So it's pretty good protocol to be in. Yeah, it's growing really fast, so that's good to see as well.
Yeah, I think that the whole DeFi, decentralized finance space is taking off, and we are seeing like news of more and more institutional players like coming in. I mean, Chris mentioned Mark Cuban, who's one of them, right? One of the big names out there, and there's going to be more jumping in because eventually, a lot of these institutional guys, once they have a taste of hodling, once they have gotten used to just hodling onto the Bitcoin and ETH, they start realizing that, oh, I can actually take my Bitcoin, BTC, and ETH that I'm hodling right now and actually get an extra like 5%, 10%, 50%. Right, on these platforms. Once they discover that, they're going to start flowing the money in. It's just a matter of time before they start doing that, right? They may start off with a stable coin, like staking, and then eventually they may go into yield farming if they are willing to take on the risks. And some of these fund managers may be smart enough to like diversify, right? Have like a pie chart, right, where they put in like 1% to like high risk projects, and then like 10% into like medium risk, and like 40% into low risks, and 50% they just hodl. So like it's just a matter of time before these fund managers start discovering the world of decentralized finance. And once that happens, right, there's no knowing like how high like Matic or even any of these platforms would go, right? So yeah, I'm pretty excited about where decentralized finance is going and the opportunity, just by getting in early. Yeah, you guys want to add anything? Daphne, Chris?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in terms of like LP, like liquidity providing, if it's your first time doing liquidity providing, what I personally did was like I took like a small bag of like my first LP ever was technically Zilliqa on ZilSwap, so I only did like $500 Canadian in total, and I just took the 2 tokens and I put it in that pool, and I literally watched it for a month, just to see like what the volatility would look like and also how much I would earn. And then after that, I started to dive a little bit deeper, because you have to understand how liquidity pools work. But I mean, I would start small, and then you can kind of just stair step up from there. Because if you ape in, for example, into Titan or something, like with all your money, and then it just tanks, you literally lost everything. So if you start small and you do your research, you can make some consistent like yield farming gains.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely don't put your life savings in any of these.
For sure.
I heard of somebody who put his life savings into Titan Matic, and he lost it all. But yeah, I mean, it is for like every investment out there. I have a friend who lost 20K on Titan Matic as well. A lot of people that I know in the platform lost a lot of money. And unless you have somebody to kind of ping you when something goes wrong, or if you're in front of a computer all day, it's definitely don't put everything in there, and always take out profits as soon as you can.
Yeah, another good a safe play to consider, right, is when you go into like projects like higher risk yield farms, you don't use your initial capital. Like let's say you want to give Matic a try, right? You put in, let's say, $1,000 worth of capital, right? You can start off with a safer platform like Aave, right? And from Aave, you get these like interest, right, or rewards, right? And from there, you can sell your rewards. You can sell your Matic rewards, or take your Matic and put it into a separate side pool. And with the side pool, you can use to enter into the riskier place. So, and I like this option because it's like I'm going to Costco, right? You can either buy the item, or you can like just sample a few here, right? And eventually, when you start collecting enough samples, you have a lot of samples, right? Of course, you don't. I mean, of course, I'm not going to do that in real life when going to Costco, right? But imagine that you are hoarding you're collecting samples from this table, one from this table, and then from this table. Eventually, you're going to have a lot, right? It's going to worth something, and you can actually put that into like higher. This is where I know some people, they take their reward tokens, right, that they've gotten for free, right, and they put it into a higher risk place. And of course, they either could win more or they lose it all, right? But this is comes down to like your trading minds, or not trading, but your farming mindset, right? It's a lot safer, like, because you are playing with like free money, like assuming that you have assuming like most of your entry capital is staked as a single staking pool on platforms like Aave, right? Or maybe you have it staked on Curve, right? So yeah, but this is just one very like slow growth, but also some more protected strategy I've seen people do.
We have some questions from the chat from Elliot. He says, would you recommend Uniswap V3 versus QuickSwap? The gas fees are more to get into the pools on Uni, but the payout is also more, correct? Daphne, I don't know if you want to answer that, or Ed.
So Uniswap V3, that's not Polygon, right? I haven't looked into that yet.
No, it's not. It's just the V3 with like the capital efficiency, and that's where you can like LP on a curve. It gets really complicated. I understand the basics, but it's a little bit complicated for me.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm actually more of a Binance farmer than Binance and Phantom farmer.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, Elliot, what I would say about that is like if you're new to LP, I would 100% just go to QuickSwap. Like just transfer your funds over, which is I don't know if anyone has already covered that, like how to actually transfer your funds from the Ethereum network to the Matic network. Yeah, so there is a what's called the Matic bridge. So basically what you can do is you can take any Polygon compatible asset. So for example, like Ethereum. So basically there's like the Ethereum network, right? And then there's like a bridge between the Ethereum network and the Matic networks, right? So you can't like take your Ethereum network ETH and just place it into QuickSwap. You have to bridge it over into the Matic network. So there's a bridge for that. And that's what Daphne just linked right there in the wallet.matic.network. So you'd be able to bridge your assets across, and then you can simply just start LPing in QuickSwap. There is no like, it's really simple, and like the gas fees are super low. Like every transaction you do is a fractions of a penny. It's roughly like 200 transactions you have to do per dollar. So you're in total gas, you're every year probably paying less than $10 depending on how many transactions you're doing. So I mean it's super cheap. Yeah.
Another way, I'm not muted. Another way to and this is a little more centralized, another way to bridge your assets is to go to either Sendex or MXC. So these centralized exchanges actually do incorporate layer 2 Matic and other coins as well. I think Sendex has USDC layer 2, which you can then convert. You can send say if you're from US, actually, sorry, Sendex is actually not available in the US, nor is MXC. But if you have a VPN, I guess you can kind of work around that. But if you're in Canada, then anything goes. So you can go to MXC or Sendex and then trade for Matic. And then when you want to withdraw your Matic tokens out to your MetaMask, you make sure you hit the Matic network,
yep,
and then transfer it out. So these are the centralized exchanges. I can link it to you.
It's super cheap too. Like what I did was I bought USDC on Ascendex, and then I pulled it out into the Matic network. It costed me 0.2 USD, like 0.2 USD.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think from MXC
the $1 I paid in order to transfer my funds off. Yeah.
I think from MXC to transfer out, it's like 0.5 Matic, which is like $1 if Matic's $2 or under $1.
It's super cheap. Depending on the Ethereum gas fees, like it depends. Like if you're buying new assets, like if you're using fiat to buy new assets, I would probably just go through like Ascendex because it's just cheaper. But if you already have the assets like in your MetaMask or something, it'll be easier for you to just bridge it like onto Matic.
From your experience, because I've never used wallet Matic network before, but how much is the bridge usually to go from?
Well, it depends on so the bridge doesn't depend on the Matic network. It depends on Ethereum because again, the assets are going from Ethereum to Matic, so you're paying in Ethereum. So if the ETH gas fees are really high, it's probably your best bet to just wait until the gas fees come down. Recently, the gas fees have been really good, and you know why? Because they're all on Matic. Everyone's on Matic right now. If you look at any of like the transaction volume, it's all on Matic. There's like literally has gone up like 200% over the last couple weeks. So
I think that's why it's been very congested lately as well.
It is, yeah. That's why the RPCs are slowing down because there's literally so many people that are on Matic. And the good thing is that Matic is again more than one scaling solution. It's a suite of scaling solutions. They only have 3 scaling solutions live right now. There's still like ZK rollups, optimistic rollups, and other side chains and stuff. So there's lots of other more scaling solutions that are happening. So yeah, that's good to see as well.
Yeah. Speaking of scaling solution, I want to get to see both of your thoughts, right? As we all know, Ethereum is working a spud off right now. They have the big rollout coming, right? They have the rollout coming. They have I believe the Berlin London fork coming. So people are and then of course obviously Ethereum 2.0 that's coming out soon. when I say soon, I mean like we don't know how soon, but eventually it will come out. And once it does come out, like gas fees on Ethereum is going to go down massively. And like, do you guys think that Polygon will still have a place once those Ethereum, stuff are rolled out, or do you think that Polygon may disappear, may go the way of the dinosaurs because they're the problem that the ETH problem has been solved and there's no need to use second layer for it?
I know what my answer is because I've said it before. But Daphne, I don't know what you think. I'd be happy to say something about that as well. What I've said before.
About what, sorry?
Yeah. So basically, Ed's question was like, because Polygon is a scaling solution, do you think that, for example, Polygon is going to be obsolete once Ethereum 2.0 comes in with sharding?
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah, and that's what I think as well. And this is the reason. And there's math to back this up. I'd have to find the article, but basically, like currently with Ethereum, you can only do about 16 transactions per second, right? So with sharding, with 64 shards, it's only 3,200 transactions per second, which is still not very many for what Ethereum is hoping to become. Right. So with Polygon, you can, with all the scaling solutions, I believe it was estimated to be about 1 million transactions per second at like the top, like with everything implemented, fully scaled up. I think it was like around 1 million, if I'm remembering that correctly. So like Polygon is required in order to like scale up to that level. Like Ethereum itself can't get up to that level. That's why you need like the layer 2 rollups. That's what most people are saying, and that's what the CEO and of Polygon was saying. I believe the same thing. I mean, just look at how many users are on Polygon already. If you think that's going to stop, I think you're wrong. Like look at what happened with BSC. It's the same thing. The only reason they weren't on Polygon was because Polygon didn't exist at that moment, right? They had to transition away from Matic, rebrand into Polygon, and then scale up, right? So that's why you're seeing all these. If you look at all the transactions and stuff for Ethereum, they're all moving towards Polygon. That's not just going to die when Ethereum scales up, right? Like there's no reason for them to move off the network if the transaction fees are less than a penny, right?
I just posted a video by Finematics explaining the Polygon network and why it would continue to survive even if EIP 1559 gets deployed. Yeah. And basically, it's basically 4 different sections that Polygon kind of allows developers to choose. So you can have more security, less speed, or less speed, more security, or a combination of different things. This video pretty much explains it all. But yeah, so yeah, I don't think Polygon is gonna go anywhere anytime soon. If anything, it's probably gonna scale up higher.
Yeah, that's thanks for sharing that. But also another note to consider, right? Is so maybe just a question for you guys. I want to hear your thoughts on that. Right now you could safely say that we are entering like a chapter where like different chain, like there are like different chains out there, right? It's like you can see it's like the race of the chains, like different like either layer 2 or layer 1 chain coming out. You have like I think someone mentioned about you have Rune, like Sword chain, Rune. You have Harmony 1. You have a Phantom chain or Phantom network. So you have a lot of these I guess chains and protocols coming up with their own. I guess they want to get their own piece of the pie. And then, so who do you think will be the winner, like of all these solutions? And then of course you have Ethereum trying to like keep its position as much as it could. And like, do you think any of these will disappear, or do you think some will fare better than others, or what?
So here's a little this is a little inside information. So apparently Matic does. So Matic is very popular compared to like Phantom and BSC these days. I think Polygon chain has actually surpassed a few days ago the TVL or like the transactions on BSC or something like that.
That was weeks ago.
That was weeks ago?
Yeah.
Wow, so I'm behind. But so the trade-off with Matic is that unfortunately they do have sort of an open an open backdoor for I guess hackers, or basically it's vulnerable. They have a backdoor that's vulnerable. I'm following this other company called Centaur, and they want to go from layer 1 to layer 2, and they're currently looking into either Matic or Phantom. And the reason for Phantom, they're looking at Phantom, even though it's not as popular right now, it's because the security is solid and they're completely decentralized. Whereas for Matic, while it's very popular right now, and it's everything is going very fast, and the price could actually go up very soon. One thing with Matic is that they do still have a backdoor, and they're kind of vulnerable if somebody finds out about it. So in terms of which one will go, I would say my money is on Matic, but then again, with the backdoor, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see that. I know there are some there were some concerns, like when there's like layer 2 scaling solutions, you have to sacrifice something. There's not always a solution that can do everything at the same time, right? So the trade-off for Matic really was you like some of the scaling solutions will not use like the layer 1 base of Ethereum as the security. And so they have their own like validator sets. And so you compromise a little bit of security for more scaling and like low transaction fees. That's really like the high level of Matic. But yeah, you're definitely right. I'd love to see like that information, Daphne, if you do have that like on hand. I'm always interested to read that sort of.
Well, it was from a Telegram group because I'm invested in another crypto project. So it's Singapore based. So basically the founder was just, telling their investors like what's going on and why they would be picking Phantom over Matic, even though Matic is more popular. But yeah, I can I guess send you a screenshot or a Telegram link if you have Telegram over to that specific, time when he actually mentioned that.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. That I saw a question we didn't answer yet. No, I think we did. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm just gonna check the YouTube live stream to see if we have any. I don't think we got any extra questions there, but
Yeah, if there's other questions about like non-LP related stuff, we're always happy to answer those as well, and in case anyone has any.
Let's see. Do we have any? Do we have any more? Yeah, it's about 8:22 right now, so I think we could probably do like Q&A for another another 5 to 8 minutes. Like just two more. We can ask 2 more questions before we can wrap up the Matic part and call it a night, and we can still have the room for the after hours chat if you guys do want to hang out afterwards. So. But yeah, overall, I think it's the whole like DeFi scene is pretty exciting. I do feel that right now the Matic scene is like if you get into Matic right now, it's like getting in on like DeFi you farming on the Ethereum network back when it was in September, October time. And personally, I do feel that a lot of the other chains like chains like Phantom, Harmony, Avalanche. I don't know about a 4-chain Rune yet, but I just feel like that if you get in on anything that is outside of Matic, it's like I'm getting in on Tron network, right? Where there's a lot of great projects out there, but the liquidity is not there at all. People aren't putting the money there. People right now, they're willing to like all the Ethereum guys, they're on Matic right now. So that you have the whole dev community there. And then you have a lot of liquidity like flowing to there because now they've been waiting for low fees transaction, and they're looking for great platforms, and they're all on Matic right now. So you have all the music, all the party is at Matic, and then you have like all these other platforms like Phantom and such that they have great projects. Some of them are mostly copycat projects, right? They're just copy and paste, right from the Ethereum network, but they're just not getting the growth. They're not getting the traction, but yeah. So I mean, it is some. I mean, there are different risks, right, involved, right? I mean, I haven't on the Phantom network. Haven't seen any rug pulls there yet. So. But it may change eventually because eventually someone will decide to like do a rug pull on any network. But as right now, yeah, so there are different networks out there, and you just have to decide like which one works at the best pace for you, right? And also like and also within like within the Matic platform, any other platform, right, ecosystem, right, you have to figure out like what type of DeFi play do you want to play, right? Are you going to be someone who wants to take it easy, take it safe, and go with just stablecoin staking, right? Maybe you are willing to take on a bit more risk, but you still want to be safe, and you can actually just park your BTC, park your other thing, take out a stablecoin, loan and put it into, let's say, Curve, so that you get like you're still playing it safe, and at any moment's notice, if there's a dump, you're ready to like pull your money out of Curve and pay back your loan. I know some people are doing that, right? And then some people, like if you are willing to like, if you have a stomach for greater risk, right, you can just put your crypto like directly into like a lot of these like farm projects. And so it comes down to like, yeah, your appetite for risk and how much are you willing to put at risk and what is your game plan. And overall, I just tell people, right, you guys are part of this live stream. You guys know that I might always remind everybody, it's always important to have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, you're going to get wrecked. Your plan is to fail. So that's just, this is my opinion for everyone who wants to consider the Matic and the DeFi space.
I see a question from Andrew that says, how does all this network knowledge help the typical retail investor who's just buying coins on an exchange like Coinbase? Well, there's a couple things that I'd like to mention. I mean, in terms of like buying coins from Coinbase, like the only thing that this network knowledge is really going to help you out with is like maybe where the token could go. You know, like if you're just buying something on Coinbase, this knowledge really isn't going to, I guess, help you in terms of like actually purchasing something. But like it's good to know what you're investing into, right? Like for example, if you're going to buy Matic, you need to understand how Matic works and what it's trying to achieve and what it's trying to solve, right? So what is Matic trying to solve? Just trying to scale Ethereum and offer low transaction fees, right? A lot of people will just start aping into random like things and they don't know like what it's about, and so when something happens they're like, wait, why did this like dump, or why did this pump? Like they have no idea. So it's good to know from like a fundamental analysis point like what you're investing into. In terms of where a good place to expand your knowledge, generally like for me it's Twitter. I'm on like Twitter and YouTube, and I'll drop my links later. But most of my information either comes from YouTube or Twitter. All the CT traders are basically on there.
Checking out Chris's channel is one place to start. You can also just getting on just by coming out to our bi-weekly Zooms. We always talk about these topics, and also just to echo what Chris has said, right? Just by understanding the fundamentals, right? When that you have a stronger, you can make a more informed investment decision, because I remember if you were here at the beginning, I was showing the chart for Matic and how Matic, despite dropping a lot, it recover way faster than every other coin. Since the May dump. So, and I was not surprised, because with when you have platforms like Aave, you have platforms like Curve starting soon, right, where they're giving out free Matic tokens just by using them, right? It's a no-brainer that people are going to start moving onto the Matic platform, right? There's going to be a lot of use cases, and this is likewise the same reason why Binance token, BNB token, right? They went up from $30 back in September last year to at this peak $600, right? It was the Binance Smart Chain network play a huge role. There are a lot of fortune seekers, people who want to get in on these 50% APY, 100% APY platforms. They are willing to buy the Binance token, drive the demand, and at the end of the day, it is really supply and demand, right? It is supply and demand, and like, of course, like you don't want to like throw your life savings into anything, right? But it's something to like once you are aware of it, like you can plan accordingly to see like, do you want to allocate like any portion of your pie chart, right? Maybe your higher risk or medium risk budget into these ecosystems, and sometimes you may get the right one, right? And other times you may end up like buying a token with an ecosystem like Tron, and Tron never move anywhere. Right? So I mean, anything could happen, right? You need to be prepared for that. But at the same time, the more you know, the better off you are in the space compared to the typical like not just hodler, just people trading, right? And such, right? The people who trading, they don't know anything about it. They don't understand fundamentals, and if they see like a pattern, they just dump the token without. They dump the token at the first sign of like a bearish, signal or bearish trend, right? And based on those who were like trading on like the technicals, right? A lot of people were shorting Bitcoin over this past weekend, and those short people, they got wrecked. They got wrecked big time because they got caught in a short squeeze, and that's how like Bitcoin went up to this 41K like on Sunday, because a lot of people they weren't planning both directions. But yeah,
talking about Bitcoin, I got this book. It's called that Michael Saylor actually recommended. I don't know if anyone has also read this. Daphne's got her finger up. So it's called The Bitcoin Standard by Saif Dean Amos. So basically what it's about is, like, if you don't know anything about Bitcoin, this is actually a really good book for like how money works and like the reason why Bitcoin is essentially going to be like the hardest form of money. Next apex predator is what Michael Saylor likes to say. Yeah, it's in crypto, it's always just good to be educated about what you're investing into and understand like fundamentally why things are happening, like Ed said. I see another question from Andrew saying Coinbase is involved in the US government USDC. No, I don't think that I think the US government might be working on like a digital dollar, but I don't think it's involved with Coinbase.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't think it is. Elliot was saying, yeah, this is a good book. It's a little bit dry, but it is pretty informative. Yeah, so it's not exactly the most exciting book to read about like for some people, but personally, because I love like crypto so much, I love reading about all these like different forms of money and like why they collapsed. Like you can see if you ever looked at like that chart of like a USD that dollar that's like disintegrating, you can see exactly at 1971, which is exactly when Nixon took the US dollar off the gold standard, it just dropped like a rock and central banks started printing money, right? It's just supply versus demand. It's simple economics. You inflate the supply, the value of whatever you just printed is going to drop like a rock, which is what you're seeing in today's world.
In fact, the Bitcoin standard was what got me into Bitcoin.
True.
So if it wasn't for the Bitcoin standard, I'd be like, yeah, I'm staying away from this stuff. I have no idea what I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
But Bitcoin really opened my eyes on how unstable currency float is. And, Bitcoin's the most secure money there is out there. And hopefully you will be the global reserve dollar. If not, then I don't know. Hopefully we'll have sound money principles, whichever form it takes. Right now, it's going to be Bitcoin, the way I see it.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's all the time we have for the main component, the part where we're going to record. I'm going to just want